The objective of Glove Box Station 3 is to assemble the glove box. The equipment used is a height-adjustable workbench, a rack, work table, and a garbage can. The tools used include a staple gun, heat gun, scissors, razor blade, and pliers. Materials used include the glove box, staples, and vinyl. The environment is inside with heat and no air conditioning. The heat gun keeps the area warm because it's constantly on. This photo illustrates the work dimensions. The worker observed is 4 feet 10 inches tall and is right-handed. Worker height affects how they interact with the workspace and how they handle the glove box. The work method for this job begins with getting and inspecting the part from the work table, then holding the part in front of a stationary heat gun. Next, the worker positions the part on the work table and staples the outer edge of vinyl to the part, pulling the vinyl with the left hand and activating the staple gun with the right hand. The worker uses the razor blade to trim the vinyl and place the trimmed vinyl in the garbage can. The worker uses scissors to trim the vinyl in the corner of the part, then staple the vinyl in the corner, pulling the vinyl with the left hand and activating the staple gun with the right hand. Next, the worker gets the handheld heat gun and heats the remaining vinyl. The worker staples the vinyl to the part on the corner and on the edge, then holds the part in front of the stationary heat gun. Afterwards, the worker positions the part on the work table and staples the outer edge of vinyl to the part. Finally, the worker trims the vinyl using the razor blade and disposes the trimmed pieces into the garbage can, then positions the part on the next workbench. Forceful exertions were required when using the pinch grip to pull vinyl, to activate the staple gun, to cut the vinyl with the razor blade and scissors, and when holding the heat gun and the part. Identified awkward postures include neck and torso flexion, torsolateral bending, and elevated arm and wrist deviation to staple the vinyl. Neck flexion and wrist extension to cut and pull the vinyl. Shoulder abduction and adduction. Forearm pronation, wrist flexion and extension to cut the vinyl with the razor blade, and elevated and extended arms to get and position the part and to hold the part in front of the stationary heat gun was observed. Localized contact stress was observed between the fingers, hands, and forearm and the edges of the tools in the part, and also between the torso and edge of the workbench. Overall, this was a high-paced job requiring forceful exertions to pull, position, cut, and staple the vinyl. In addition, localized contact stress between the torso, arm, hands, and fingers and the parts, tools, and workbench were observed. Finally, awkward postures of the torso, neck, arms, and hands were also observed. The following recommendations were made. Investigate height and tilt-adjustable workbench to decrease posture stress. Develop a worker training module on workbench adjustment during each work cycle to minimize awkward postures during each work task. Consider positioning padding on the front edge of the workbench to decrease contact stress. Investigate using fixtures to pull and hold vinyl in position while stapling to decrease forceful exertions. Investigate using staple gun in vertical position to decrease posture stress.